Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Tia's Digital Tea Time. I hope everybody's having a great Friday. Exciting evening tonight. Woo, it is bright in this room. This is bright for me. Maybe I need to be taking this light off. Oh my goodness, is it too bright, guys? You have to let me know. I'll be trying to change up my makeup and stuff, and maybe I need to stop doing that because, the makeup never looks the same, like in the mirror, as what it looks like on camera. So it's always a little kind of weird. Like right now, I look like I only got mascara on one eye. Oh, Sonia's already here. I'm going to go ahead. So hopefully she'll come on. I almost want to tell my husband to get my mascara so I can fix my eye. Hi, Sonia. How are you?
Hey.
I was just complaining. I was like, that makeup never looks the same on camera as it does in the mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Mirror. And so I was like, it looks like I only got mascara on one eye. I'm about to tell my husband, I'm like, hey, get my mascara. So
Wait, you have him do your mascara for you?
No, but I don't want to leave the camera.
Oh.
Make him go get it. Oh no, I'd probably lose the eye.
Totally understand.
So how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm glad it's Friday.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Hi, King Dakari. Thank you so much for joining us. Lene, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey.
Lisa, thank you so much for coming in tonight. You look beautiful. You look amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, are you a full-time writer, or do you work during the week at another job?
I always tell people, I do work.
Mm-hmm.
I tell them that's just, that's my hobby, and writing is my job.
There you go, right? Well, so that's why you're like, oh, thank goodness it's the weekend for sure, because you're like,
Yeah.
So you're doing the work week then,
right?
Oh yeah,
right. It has been a crazy week. Just the last 2 weeks have been crazy, but I'm just glad that today is Friday.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, where are you located, may I ask?
Texas. Where it's hot.
Okay,
It's hot, and it's been raining off and on, and yeah. So
I feel you. I'm in Florida. I'm across the bay.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know hot. So
yeah. Gulf of Mexico, whatever. Yeah, I'm close enough. But yeah, it is. It's been warm and storms and weird things going on. The weather's been weird, definitely.
Yeah.
And so I was been posting your promo, and people have been talking so much about your hot covers.
Oh, I know. I love my covers. I love it. With that series there, the Greek series, those are my couple of my friends. It's good to have friends on Instagram.
There you go. Oh my goodness. So what did you do? Like, is it the photographer you get in contact with, or the actual model?
Actual model. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And so you just were like, hey, can I have you on my cover? Or
well, I let Unique Words, my agent, I let her handle all that. So yeah.
Oh,
I take a picture and I'll be like, let's see if we can get this one. And so then, then the rest of it is up to her. She works her magic.
Oh, that is so amazing. That has actually contacted me about this interview, actually.
Mm-hmm.
She's really reaching out on your behalf in that, like,
oh yeah, she's amazing.
I was like, oh, I was so happy too.
Mm-hmm.
And I had TB Bond, I think last week or the week before.
Mm-hmm.
And which also came through her. So I feel like I'm getting these fabulous authors to get to talk to.
Cool.
Because of her. So I'm very excited.
Oh, there
about
she is.
that.
Hey, Unique.
Hi. Well, I don't know. I've been, posting the Chimera song. I can never say it right.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard that song before? Did you see like in my story and stuff? Okay,
no.
So that is actually in Greek.
Oh, okay.
Because you had a Greek hero. It was like a duet. My friend Demi Alex, she's one of the people I write with. She's Greek.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to sing that song.
Oh wow.
I would sing the English. We would sing it in Greek. The Greek side of it. And so when I saw your Greek hero, I was like, oh, I'm going to post this song to go with your promotional material. Because how often do I get to promote, Raymond and what's his name? I can never. It's like Max. It's a very Greek word for Max, I think. And So I was like, oh, I was like, but I wonder how many people actually know Samara means tonight in Greek.
I didn't.
I thought that was, oh, there you go. Well, so there you go. So I thought that was great. I did not get to read your story like I wanted to. I got to start it. I had a bad migraine yesterday. I'm so excited though. I was up most of the night. When those I have MS, so I
Okay.
get these weird migraines sometimes. And they're like almost like cluster headaches. Like I was like, oh, please don't let me have to go to the hospital today.
Wow.
This was me last night. And even today I was like popping pills and stuff. I'm like, I got to get this under control. So I'm doing okay right now. Unfortunately, because of that, I can't drink. So to the surprise of the people who might be watching this from my group, who are like, what? She's not drinking. I got a Coke. Don't worry. The vodka's still here. And
Oh
so
my.
is the rum. But I know, right? It's becoming a...
Hey, sometimes you gotta have it to end a hard day. You gotta have that drink just to calm you down a little bit.
So I didn't get to, but the start of it was so cool. With her opening your heroine, and at least in the Greek series, opening her own club and stuff. But let's get started at the beginning. Can you please tell the viewers who you are?
I am author Sonja B, and I write multicultural and interracial romance. I write paranormal, mafia, contemporary. Yeah, you name it, I'm gonna try it. So that's what I do.
And you are very popular with, I think, like what would you say your readership, like, is it the paranormal? Like, I know you're a best-selling author. What genre do you feel like you find the most success in, you think?
My Mafia series. Yeah, that right there. The bad guy. They're not bad guys. They're just straight alphas. They just very dominant. And I like to write about, badass women, their mates who are just as, kick ass as they are. You know what I mean? So I think my Mafia series, like you have the Savant brothers, and now, this one here with the Greeks, those are probably my most popular series. Well, actually, the Greeks, I thought the Savant brothers were actually my best, but these Greeks have came along and they're scaring me because because how popular they've gotten, and just from the ratings, and everything and stuff, and I was just like, I was so unique. I was like, oh my God, this is scary. Like it puts pressure on you to make sure that the next book is even more badass, you know what I mean? So, but I'm here for it. So,
There you go. Well, Crystal writes, I love your paranormal and Axel, LOL.
Okay, Axel is from the Savant brothers. He is book one. Most of the books pretty much center around him, but the first book is his. As far as the paranormal, I'm not sure which one she's talking about. I mean, we have the Sultry Inc. series, which is the Shapeshifter series. And then we have Love and the Jekyll, which is, my modern day spin on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So, yeah.
Stay away. Carla writes, stay away from Axel. That's my husband.
Yeah, she is a diehard Axel fan, and she, in my group, when people say stuff about Axel, she's going to comment on it about that being her husband. So
there you go. Well, hey, we all have our book boyfriends, that we got to stick by. So when you started in your writing career, did you start paranormal and then move over to contemporary, or did you start with
when I started, my first book was Out of the Blue, and that book had sat shelved for like the longest, for a few years, and I would kind of like go back to it and kind of tinker with it a little bit, and then I was just like, one day I was just like, you know what, forget it, I'm gonna go ahead and write it, and put it out there and see what happens. Shopped around for a publisher, got a publisher, and it was released, and it did pretty good for it being my first book. It was short, a little short read, but yeah, I started with that book. There was supposed to just have been one book, but that one book turned into a 7-book series. So and actually it probably could have went on, but then after I did book 7, Unique challenged me to write something other than paranormal. So that's how Axel and the Savant brothers came along. And it was that right there was supposed to be just like Axel and then his brother Felix and then his brother Adam. And then the fourth book, kind of closing everything off. Well, that ended up end up having 2 extra books. So that's why it's the Savant brothers and friends, because there was, some other characters that kind of got introduced, and everybody was like, are they going to get a story? Are they going to get a story? Are they going to get a story? So, we went from that.
Now, so how many books do you have published?
Oh, girl, let me count. Let me see. That's 7 there. That's 7 in Sultry Inc. 6 in the Savant Brothers and Friends, so that's 13. Then we had Love and the Jekyll, so that's 14. Then we had 2 with the Lunchtime Chronicles, so that's 16. Then we have the Cowboy book, which is Stanton's book. So that's 17. And now we've had the Greeks, and so that's not 19. About 19.
Wow,
about
that
19.
is amazing. And how long have you been writing?
Since 2019.
Oh my goodness, so you're publishing, what are you averaging a year, you think, for books?
Well, my first year, you mean as far as writing, how many books I get done in a year?
Mm-hmm.
Girl, in 2019, let me see. My first book came out in July, at the end of July. So by the time December rolled around, I think I probably had 6. I had 6 done then. So yeah, that was, I was steadily just churning them out, at least, every month and a half, at those times, those were short reads, so it was easy. But as I, moved on in, my writing career, my books started to get a little bit longer. So that would take a little bit more time. So I'm kind of now trying to pace myself. Because back then I was just like, oh, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. But you had the whole COVID thing, last year was, well, still going on, but last year, as far as book wise, it was kind of easy because hours get cut at work, so you got more time to write. People are at home, so they want to read, so sales were good. So I think right now this is what, July, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4 so far this year. So, and I'm thinking probably by the end of the year, it'll probably be 4 more, maybe. But I have to stop like at the end of September, because I'm in a box set, which is the Savage Bloodline box set. So I have to stop at the end of September and focus on that one, because that has, it's coming out next year, but I want to give it my all and just put all my time into it and not really focus on my books. So yeah, but I got a few more that are coming out.
That is amazing. Now, so, knowing that you work full-time, or assuming, is
Mm-hmm.
it full-time or part-time?
Full time.
Okay. What does your writing day look like then? Does it start when you come after work? Does it start in the morning before work, or?
No, actually, I go to work and I have my own office, so I'm by myself, and I say pretty much majority of my day, like once I'm finished with my work, my regular work, I spend that writing. So I'm working.
Oh, there you go.
I'm
Okay.
working while I'm working. So then when I get off work, then I come home and then I do what I need to do around the house, and then I jump back on and get back to writing.
So may I ask, what kind of a day job do you have, even if it's in the generic sense?
Oh no, it's a problem. I'm a administrative assistant for ER.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when things are slow or
Hmm.
whatever, then you can just
Yeah.
chill. And then when and then put it aside when things get busy.
Yeah, but I'm not really busy. I have a pretty much open schedule. I can kind of come and go as I please as long as I get my hours in for the week. So yeah,
That
it's a
is
good
amazing.
job for what
I
I'm
love
doing.
that. So, it's almost like making money twice.
Pretty
Like,
much, pretty much. Yeah.
so I love that. So when did you start writing? Like really writing? I don't mean professionally because you said 2019, but
Mhm.
were you always a writer?
No, I was a reader.
Really?
I was a die-hard reader. Like I have you don't even want to see my bookshelves. Like when I mean, I love reading the paperbacks because I like having, feel the paper and everything and stuff. And it took me years to get a Kindle, to get a tablet. And but yeah, I was a diehard reader. Like everybody would get happy, they get packages in the mail. I get happy when I have the paperbacks coming in the mail. I'm like, ooh, Christmas time, So, and then, I finally broke down, got Kindle Unlimited, and yeah, that was a mistake because I was reading probably anywhere from 15 to 20 books a week. Like I was just constantly reading, and I don't know. I don't know. I never really thought of myself as a writer. I always thought about it, and that's why, Out of the Blue set shelved for a long time. And my sister used to be like, "Girl, finish writing the book, write it," and I'm like, "No, no." Because when you're reading, when you're reading other people's stuff and you're not writing at the time, I wasn't writing, and you get that self doubt to come in, like, I can't write like that, oh my God, I'm not up to, I know this is amazing. What I got is just garbage. Just no, I'm not gonna do it. But then finally, it just kept eating at me. So then I was like, you know what, just put it out there. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. At least I can say I did it. And we did it. It just took off
So
running.
how do you still read that much, or do you write more and no? So you don't do you read at all anymore? Or?
I actually I read one book this past weekend, and that was probably the first book I've read in a long time. Um, I do support fellow authors, and I do buy their books when they're released. But as far as reading, I don't like to read while I'm writing. You know what I mean? Because I don't
Yeah.
want like an idea to pop in my head, but it's because I was reading a book, and then especially like now when I'm writing Mafia, there are so many Mafia books that some of my author friends have put out that I want to read, but I can't read them right now because that's the genre that I'm writing in. So I don't read unless I'm on vacation. And it sucks too
Oh,
because
okay.
I got so many books in my Kindle that need to be read.
Do you miss reading, you think, or do you just enjoy the writing and it
No,
doesn't
I
really?
miss reading. I do. I really do. That was like, a getaway, but now, I get away in my books when I write my books.
Yeah.
So, but I do miss reading. So, mm.
So what authors were you reading before you started writing? Like what genres were you reading? Like 20 books is a lot. Like what were you reading?
I was reading urban books. I was reading paranormal books. I was reading interracial books. I mean, paranormal has always been my favorite, so I've read a lot of those. Um, I like zombie books. I love zombie movies, so of course I'm gonna like a zombie romance book and how you say apocalyptic dystopian
Yeah.
type books or whatever. I love those type of books. That's on my list to someday do a zombie apocalyptic romance type book. I think that will be
That would be
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hi, Andrea. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Um, so you were a reader. You never really thought much about it. In 2019, you're like, all right, my sister's encouraging me. I'm gonna write. And now you are so prolific. You're 20 books in 2 years, give or
Hmm.
take. And what has been your favorite genre to write? Then is it the paranormal or is it the mafia?
At this point, I really couldn't say because I like them both. But I haven't been able to write a paranormal since last year when I did Love and the Jekyll because my Mafia series was just, kicking off. And then I had, this cowboy love story in my head that needed to get out. So that's how I was able to get Stanton, A Cowboy's Fight for Love, get that one out, and I have book 2 of that book that I'm kind of working on at the same time while I'm working on Xander's book 2. So I like them both, but I do miss writing my paranormal. I mean, I love me some shapeshifters. When I wrote Axel's book for the Savant Brothers, it took everything inside of me not to make him change into a werewolf. I wanted to do it so bad because, after doing 7 books of shapeshifters, that's all my head, it was all in my head, and I would go back and forth with Unique, and I'd be like, well, what if he did this? Or what if he could do this? And she's like, no, 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 no. We'll set it this way. It's going to be, this Mafia book, we're going to do something different, And I'm just like, oh my God, I really wanted just to have him just turn into this big old wolf. But
oh well.
Oh well.
Those publicists. Oh well.
Oh well. It didn't happen, but it's cool. It's cool. I do have a paranormal that's slated to get done this year, so I'm gonna get one out this year. Yeah.
You're gonna try for like the fall, maybe when it's paranormal season, or
maybe.
Hi, Stephen. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, probably around about that time. Because this one, well, the one I'm thinking of doing, it's a shapeshifter, so I'm excited about that. So yeah, probably around about that time. But we'll see. I don't know. These like I said, these Greeks are pretty much taking up all my time right now. So yeah.
Wow. Well, it was like what I've read so far was very exciting, like it wasn't even all that much. Like I said, I feel so bad because I really try to get the books done before the interview, but my night wasn't allowing for that. But what I did read, which I think was just kind of like the excerpt where in the parking lot scene,
right,
and then later when she's embarking on her own, having saved the alderman. So I was like, woo, I really like what a gentleman he seemed to be as a hero. But I haven't gotten to see.
Yes, Balthazar is, he's a sweetie. I love writing his character. He's a no nonsense type of guy. He doesn't like to repeat himself. He's all about his woman and protecting her. So yeah, he's, I love Balthazar, and you meet his brother in there, which is book 2, which is Alistair, the crazy one. He everybody loves Alistair too. I don't know who they like more. Some probably would say, Alistair, some would say Zara, but right now more are saying Alistair just because he's crazy. And he has a no nonsense type of attitude. He's one of those shoot first and don't ask questions later, type of person. And he does things that just make you just be like, did he just do that? Especially with his lady love.
So are these dark romances, would you say? Are they just anti-heroes, or
no, they're not. They're not anti-heroes. Well, at least I don't think so. As far as dark, I don't know if I really say dark. There's, they got some steamy love scenes. There's some killing and shooting, and there's blood in there and stuff, whatever. But I don't know if I would necessarily call them dark. I think that would probably be up to the readers to decide whether or not they think it's dark. Because even like with Axel's book, some people said it was dark, and I didn't think it was dark, but
Crystal writes very alpha too, and like I said, Stephen's in Scotland, so thank you for joining us all the way from Scotland. Now, I see that you say you write interracial, multicultural. What made you decide to write that specific genre?
I think because I like reading interracial romances, so I just stuck with what I'm familiar with and what I like to read. So I mean, I do have one book that's in 2 books in the Sultry Inc. series that are not interracial. They the male and the female characters are African American. So I wouldn't necessarily say that I would stay on just that path, but I just write what I like. So
Right. Well, Lisa writes, Alistair is something else. So,
Told
you
you.
know. And Holly is writing, and she's asking, I'm new to you. Which book should I read first?
Girl, go with the Greeks. They're the one that's what's hot and popping now.
Like I said, I enjoyed what I read so far. I'm kind of excited to finish it. Maybe when I get off tonight, if my headache will stay at bay, I'll be able to finish, really get into it and enjoy it. Because I like Mafia, actually.
Yeah,
I
me too.
enjoy it. And like I said, they usually end up being what we say dark romance, not necessarily because it itself is dark, but by nature, mafia men tend to be on this, the other side of the law. So
Right,
therefore, they're anti-heroes in the definition
right,
because her heroes don't break the law, right?
right.
So, but I've been enjoying those kind of characters,
Hmm.
and I'm a writer as well, but
Hmm.
I don't write that. So maybe that's why I enjoy reading it, because I don't write it.
Yeah.
So it's new to me. Like I'm like, ooh, I'm really loving this. So Holly writes, I love Mafia. I think people
Hmm.
have been really kind of getting into those. They have been
Yeah,
very popular.
yeah. It's a popular genre right now. You have a lot of people writing it. Like I said, the Savage Bloodline box set that I'm in, it's mafia. It's gonna be it's 20 of us in there, and we're each writing a mafia dark romance. So this will be a dark romance with that box set there. So yeah, that's slated to come out in March of 2022. So yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
So all right. So you said you kind of write what you enjoy reading, multicultural / interracial. It's and what you know. Um, do you think you'll ever write outside of paranormal and contemporary? Will you ever write sci-fi or anything like that, or are these kind of your two?
Um, I won't say no because I love, like I said, I love reading the sci-fi ones. So I won't say no. It's a possibility in the future. I probably would. I mean, if you look at my library, like probably 25% of my paperbacks are sci-fi books and stuff like that. So
Wow.
yeah, so I mean, I love reading that genre. So I won't say no that I won't write it because I will try to write it in it. I have to do a lot of research, create my own planet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and it's interesting because the person that you saw, I don't know if you got to stop in and see Allison last night's
Hmm.
interview, but she writes sci-fi mafia.
Really?
So she does.
Wow.
That was what her the books we were talking about last night, which were Savage Prince and whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, they are. It's Omega / Alpha verse, sci-fi,
Hmm.
but they are mafia in the sci-fi
Oh wow.
so world. And so it's almost like this kind of very aggressive, very humanoid in that way, because
Hmm.
it is mafia. They're breaking the law and stuff, and to get things done, and alpha males,
Hmm.
and so it was very interesting. So I guess it can be done if
Yeah.
you ever like, I want to take this mafia to the next step. But you could also do mafia paranormal. So, you can cross them, and werewolf mafia.
Hmm.
Why not?
Look. I
During the
tried.
zombie apocalypse.
I tried to do it with Axel's book, but hey, couldn't do it. So
So yeah, Holly writes, I love it, Ruthless King. That is one of the mafia
okay,
sci-fis.
okay.
So
I'm gonna have to check
something
that
to
out.
check out. Yeah, it was interesting. If you like to it really is a combination of tropes
Hmm.
that are very hot right now in some ways, like because it did have also a power dynamic to it,
Hmm.
which for those who like power dynamics. Now you said you write very strong heroines and very strong
Right.
heroes. So I haven't gotten the finish. Do they butt heads a lot in the book, or is
Yeah.
the hair? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hold on. You broke up a little bit. Hold on. Hold on. Do you have a message coming in or something? Oh, I don't know if she can hear me. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, okay. Well, we're missing everything. I don't know. Can you all hear her? Is it just me? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. We can't hear you. Oh, is that what we're hearing? Beeping? I hear beep, 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 beep. Okay. Oh, there you are. Okay, you're back. Nope, maybe not. For a second, you were back. Were you? Did you have a headset on?
You always forget every time.
Okay, well, hopefully she'll be back on here in a second. Oh, it's her Bluetooth. All right, Carla's writing. It's your Bluetooth, so you might have to take your Bluetooth off.
I turned it off.
And oh, did you? Okay. I'm so sorry to say that we missed everything you said, and you were probably giving this awesome explanation that we all wanted to hear. I'm so sorry to do this. You have to repeat everything you just said.
What were we talking about? My son distracted me. Like he had got in my car and my Bluetooth picked up on my car.
Oh.
So he came in, he came to the window and he was like, "You had to turn your Bluetooth off." And I'm like, "Why are you in my car?" That's what I'm thinking. Like,
okay, well, we were talking about whether or not your heroines like butt heads.
Yeah.
And what that means.
Yeah. So yes, they do butt heads, because they're just not gonna just be told what to do by these guys, and they're gonna stand up for themselves. They want their independence, but for themselves, but also they want to be with their men, but they want to have their say also. So it's like, you're just not pushovers. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're pretty kick-ass. I love my women. I love writing about strong women, that can stand on their own. They don't need a man per se. You know what I'm saying? They have their own money. They built, their careers and stuff like that or whatever. So, but yeah, they do bump heads.
Wow. And who do your characters find a middle ground, or does one end up kind of giving in? Like, does the hero soften, or does the heroine soften, or what makes that relationship? You're like, no, they just make it.
No, they make it work, but no, the heroes, they don't soften. but they make it work. They find ways to make their women kind of like, come over to the dark side.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, and this must produce very hot intimacy then, like this kind of explosive love.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
There's like, even in Alistair's book, the first time him and Haley got together was explosive because he had some stuff that she didn't know about, and it was like before, she okay, he comes out of the bathroom and he has this towel wrapped around him or whatever. So she's just like, I hope he has on some boxers underneath there. Well, of course he don't. He just got out the shower. Yeah. He's just, naked as the day he was born. And she was kind of like laying in the bed, and then she shot straight up. And she's like, "What is that?" And if you read the books and Alistair is crazy. He's crazy. He's just, I don't know. And he just looks down and he just pops his stuff. And he's like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, that's Prince Albert." So, yeah.
Now, is he your favorite character? Do you have a favorite character that you've written?
That's so hard to say. I mean, I love Alistair, but I love Zara too. So I honestly can't, pick a favorite one. Like, if I had to pick, if you asked me to pick like one of the females out of my books, I would pick Blue, just because, that was my first book and I love Blue, and Blue was like my alter ego. So I mean, and I love Jax, who was her mate. So, and he was hot and heavy. And I love Axel, and I love Balthazar, and I love Alistair. So I can't really say which one would be my favorite. And it's funny because I put a thing in my group, and my members hate when I do it. And I'll do a poll like every few months, and I'll list all of the alpha males' names. And I'd be like, "Who's your favorite?" And they'd be like, "We can't pick just one." You know.
Do you make them pick one, or can they pick multiple choices?
I used to have it to where they could only pick one, but then I changed. I was like, okay, just pick whoever you want to pick, you know. And most of the time they just go down the line picking all of them. It's a hard decision.
So Holly writes, "I love the names of your characters," and Crystal writes, "I could never just pick one."
No, she can't.
And Holly said, "Don't let the towel fall," but we all want the towel to fall. Don't let her fully. She's, you know, Holly, whatever. We know you want that towel to fall. Crystal writes, "I wait till you read it." I'm excited. I can't wait. I wish I didn't have it, but in some ways it's kind of neat to go in to this interview kind of blind and hearing it from your point of view before I even get to read it. So, you know, well, first, you know, I do have a quick question. These beautiful pictures behind you, are these you back here behind you?
Yes.
Oh my God.
That one was in 2019 when I had my first book signing. I had it made. And then
Oh, wow.
my husband had this one made for me for Christmas. He surprised me with that one. And
Oh, wow.
I had won some awards, and he had my picture and the best-selling author, all that stuff on there with the little trophies. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. Oh,
I think you can see that one. Then that one was an interview, a magazine interview I had did when I first started out with the Sultry Ink. So at that time, I had just had those 3 books out. So yeah, you come along.
Oh my goodness. That is so cool, though, that your husband does that for you. You know, I love that he, you know, did that. So he's very supportive of your career.
Oh yeah, very. He's like my biggest fan. You know, and it's funny because he's probably only read 2 of my books.
That's probably more than my husband has read of mine.
Yeah, right. He'll sit there and I'll be in there like doodling around or whatever, and he's like, "Aren't you supposed to be writing?" And I'm like, "Y'all back alone. I could take a break."
What is he? Is he watching this interview, you think?
No, we own horses, so he's up with our horses.
Seriously? Do you live on like a farm or something?
No, we're in a little suburb, but well, residential area, but our horses are we have a pasture, and we have like our horses and our cows there. So his mare just had a colt about a week ago. So yeah, he's excited about that. So I think he probably got about 9 or 10 horses and 2 cows. So yeah.
Was he the inspiration for your Cowboy book?
Yeah. And that
is so cool.
Right. Yeah, it was easy to write about the Cowboy because I know so much about it from being, you know, just in this environment, you know. I mean, I was a city girl. I lived in Chicago. I moved down here in 2007. I wasn't riding horses or nothing like that, but you know, met him, fell in love, and he had me riding horses.
Oh my goodness. Well, can I ask how you guys met?
Well, actually, you know what? I can't say met him then. We've actually known each other since high school. So my mom's family lives in Arkansas. And where I stay at is like they call it the tri-state area. So I'm in Texas, and Arkansas is about 15 miles from here, and the Louisiana border is probably about the same. And so we would come down here for vacations and stuff. And one of my cousins was dating a girl, and her niece, me and her became really good friends. So Randy, my husband, was actually her nephew. So when me and my friend Sandy, when I would come down, we would hang out, and I would go up to her grandparents' house where she was staying. Like he would come over there, and of course his nickname is Peanut. So he would come over and he would try to talk to me. I was like, I don't want to talk to him. I'm like, he's short. I'm like, I don't want to talk to him. You know, I'm like, no, he was nice. He was sweet. But I was like, no. But then, you know, and then over the years, you know, when I would come to visit, we would run into each other and stuff like that. You know, hey, how you doing? And
when I moved back in 2007, well, I moved down here in 2007, ran into each other, whatever. But it was like a year and a half or so later before, we actually decided to date. And then it just kind of grew from there. So we've known each other since our teenage years. It's just that back then I was like, no, I don't want him.
Well, and it's just so hilarious in a way because this sounds almost like a romance novel. Big city girl, Chicago. That's like a rough town. I lived in St. Louis area,
Yeah.
so coming to essentially like, I guess like the farm or we said suburbs, but of Texas where there's cows and that, and then you have this nice guy, but too nice for you and too possibly short for what you're, and then
he's just right now. I always tell him, I said, you know what? I said, you didn't try hard enough back then. You didn't really want me back then. You didn't try hard enough. And he'll say,
and what does he say?
He'll be like, but I got you now. He's like, you married me, so now you're stuck with me. And I'm like, whatever.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Well, we'll definitely have to one day see a picture of him, or like.
Oh, actually, here's one right here. Let me flip my camera around because I have it up against my laptop. There he is right there.
Oh my goodness, he looks so handsome.
Thank you.
A cowboy. Oh my God, I love it. With the hat and the black and mild. Oh my God. So hot. No wonder why you wrote a book about him.
Girl,
now I gotta read the Cowboy.
And the thing is that people they like they get excited when I tell them, like, when we got married, we had a cowboy themed wedding. It was outside, and he rode his horse in the wedding. He rode up the aisle on his horse. Yeah.
Did you write this story yet? Have you written your romance story yet? When are you gonna write your coming, like, the slow burn, like, met him when I was a teenager and visiting and this and that, and then Cowboy sweeps you off your feet and shows up at your wedding on a horse? And why are you denying us readers this amazing true life story?
I don't know. It might happen one day. It might happen. I don't know.
Oh, it's amazing. I love it. I love it so much. It's so great. So you said you were always a reader. Was it always romance? Or were you like, did you always start with romance, or were you reading something else?
Yeah, they've pretty much all been romance. Yeah. So.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And your husband's like, that's okay, honey. I like that you read all these romance novels and and you write all these romance novels. And you can tell him, you're like, wow, I was during this interview and the interviewer was like, you're so hot. Cowboy hat.
Tell him too.
I just think that's
I am. I'm gonna be like, oh my God, like she thought that you were sexy.
It was enough that my husband just came in from the living room and gave me like the
don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble.
I know, now I'm in trouble. Like, my husband was like, I'm like, that's why I kind of smiled.
Oops.
I've been married 17 years at this point. If I was gonna leave, I'd already be gone. Married a long time. Yeah. No. So, do you like it in Texas, or do you miss the city?
Oh no, I love it here. I
love it here.
Only thing about Chicago, I mean, I miss my friends. I miss being downtown. Going on Lakeshore Drive. Summertime, late at night. Some of the festivals and stuff like that. But Dallas is only 2.5 hours away from me. So if I want some city life, I can just go out there. They have all the same stuff that Chicago has, but I usually try to get back home at least once a year, but I haven't been since 2019 because of COVID. So yeah, but no, I mean, I miss my friends, but we still keep in contact. So it's cool. But yeah, no, I love Texas. If we get snow, and maybe once a year, we pretty much have ice storms, stuff like that or whatever. And, it melts right away. It's gonna move down here a long time.
What do you, having been in Illinois for a while, because I was living across from St. Louis, 2 towns over from me, St. Louis, actually, about 4 hours south of Chicago. And then coming back to Florida, I feel you.
Yeah.
Like we're like, I don't miss the snow. I meant to ask you, what do your friends, do they know you write? Your family, what do they think?
Oh, they know. Some are some of my biggest supporters. Um, my mom, it was funny when I first wrote Out of the Blue, and I gave her a paperback copy, and I don't know if she finished reading it, because it's got some steamy scenes in there, and so she called me and she was like, "Oh my gosh," she was like, "Where do you get all this cussing from?" And I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" I'm like, my, I'm like, "Mom, every other word out of Dad's mouth was motherfucker." I'm like, so what do you think? I mean, when I was younger, my dad said to me, like, "I know when you're not around us, you probably cuss like a sailor." I'm like, "You're absolutely right." But I have relatives. They do buy my books. They do buy my paperbacks. Stuff like that. So yeah, they're very supportive. My friends. They like the books too. They buy the books. So it's cool. They like it. I got a good support system.
That's amazing. So you got your friends, your family, your husband, your readership that loves you, and you've only been doing this 2 years. And just imagine what your future holds. You're gonna,
I know, right?
it's gonna be amazing. And where can readers find you if you're, I know your books can be found like on Amazon. Is there other places? And where can they find you online if they want to hang out with you?
My books, they can find them on Amazon, Goodreads, and BookBub. Me, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. What is it, at Sonja BB45? I am on Twitter. Um, I do have my on Facebook, my Sonja B's Masterpieces page also, and then I have my group, which is Sonja B's Sultry Reading Group also, where we post a lot of man candy pics and natty pics, and and we talk about the book, because it is, first and foremost, the group is about the book. So I like people to be in there who actually read my books.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where you can find me. I'm not hard to find.
And, what do you want your readers to know about, like, the books you write? Like, is there something you've always wanted readers to know that maybe you just haven't had an opportunity to tell
Um, I guess maybe, I after I put a book out, and once it's released, I go back and I read them. I read it as a reader. And so when I get messages in Messenger, and people hit me up and saying, "Oh my God, this part had me crying, this part had me," that, I'm like, "Dude, me too. It had me crying too." So I feel every emotion that you guys feel when you're reading my books. I want you to know that, because I can go back and read Reign Over Me, which is book 7 in the Sultry Ink series, and I still cry when I read that book. I can go and read from the Lunchtime Chronicles, my Sweet Potato Pie. It's just this one scene in there. I was crying when I wrote it, and it was just the guy Andrew that's in there. He's a veteran. He's been through some stuff. He's lost his mom, his dad, and he was raised by his mom's best friend, and that was like his second mom. And so when she passes away, then just like the scene at the graveside, just, oh, look, I'm getting choked up right now thinking about it. So yeah, I have those same emotions y'all have. I write those emotions for us, y'all. Okay. I write for us. That's what I want y'all to know. I write for us, because I am a reader too. So
Well, it has been so awesome just to get to hang out with you. I've had such a great time tonight. Like I said, now I'm in trouble with my husband, so no.
My bad.
No, it was, it's fabulous, because I think cowboys are one of those, well, obviously it's a trope like in the romance and that,
Mhm.
but I feel like there's not an ugly cowboy really out there. Even the rough cowboys
Mhm.
look kind of good, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like in pictures and
Yeah.
that. So it is the same. When it's like every time I see one, I'm like, good looking cowboys. Are there ugly cowboys out there? I don't know. You know?
No, not the group. In the group that I follow on Instagram, I think I might have seen a couple of them that might have been questionable, but the rest of them, they with them Wrangler jeans and them cowboy hats, yeah, yeah.
I know, right? So that's like, you know, so I know, like, it's just like, God, that's my husband. No, it's just that, you know, I think that's awesome, you know, and I love that you wrote a cowboy
Mhm.
story that you inspired. I think that's so real. You know, especially when, you know, a lot of times I think we as authors write the fantasy of what we want to see with, you know, men in that. So, but in a way, you have that fantasy with you, and I think that's amazing and so romantic and so beautiful. And that's why I also hope that maybe you'll write your love story. You know, may I ask how long you guys been together?
Um, in September we have been married. It'll be 9 years. We've been married and we've been together 12.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you said you have a son, you have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Then are they at home? Are they young,
Oh no,
older? Well, the
I have
one's gonna be old enough to drive.
I have two boys. And no, they're grown men. One's 19 and one's getting ready to turn 21 on the 30th of this month.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I love how you say that to you. You're like, no, they're grown men. You know,
they're
those people would be like 19, 21. You're like, no, grown men.
grown, grown. We don't have no babies here.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, you know, I just been it was so great. I can't wait to read your stories. And you, like you said, for those starting out, start with the Mafia and then
Mhm.
maybe move to like the paranormal then, or
Um,
you know.
if I had to pick an order, I would probably say start with the Greeks, just because, like I said,
Okay.
they're the one that's hot and popping now. And plus, I'm sorry, I love Czar and Alistair. I love Axel too, y'all. I'm not being funny because y'all know I love Axel and Felix and Adam and Andreas and all them. So I would say start with the Greeks, then go to the Savant Brothers and Friends, and then after that one, I would say go to the Jekyll, Loving the Jekyll. And then I would say probably, oh no, you have to read My Sweet Potato Pie. I'm sorry. Andrew is just, he is just amazing, awesome. And then from there, I would say do The Secret Sauce, which is good. Also, that one has Wyatt. And probably Stanton, and then Soldier Inc. series.
There you go, guys. Well, you heard it. Wow, I feel like I got through all our questions so fast, and I usually like you're so concise, and it's been amazing. I've had so much fun tonight. Do you have any other things we should be aware of coming up, or any kind of events, book signings,
Um,
new releases coming out?
Only released what they'll be coming soon, which will be book 3 of the Greek series, which is Xander's book, which is the Greek's Retribution. So that won't be coming out. I don't have. I'm not putting a date out there yet because, yeah, but it's coming soon. And that's really it for right now. Once I finish his book, then I got book 4 of the Greek series. Then there's a spin-off series from that one, from the Greek series. And then hopefully I can get my paranormal out there before I have to shut down to work on the box set. So, yeah.
And possibly after that, a zombie apocalypse, right? I'm ready. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Hi, Mona. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know if Dakari is still in here with us. Have you know Mona and King Dakari and all? Have you done an interview on King Dakari's
No,
group yet?
no, not yet.
Well, hopefully Mona and then we'll get with you because you're amazing
Thank you.
and so much fun to interview. So definitely, those of you who came over from Pen is Lethal, Author King Dakari, thank you so much for the support coming from my brother group over there.
Okay.
Who come and support me and these here. And yes, King writes, thank you for sharing everything you shared. Sounds amazing. I'll definitely be reading one of your books. That's coming from Author King Dakari.
Thank you.
Lisa writes, I'm ready for the Greeks, so they're ready for that third book, and I gotta catch up. I'm like,
Yeah.
gonna rush off and go read it. And the second book, my husband's sitting right here now looking at me like, you know. And I'm all like, and everything like that, and it's been fun. So thank you so much
Thank you
for
for
coming on tonight.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And guys, will be in the comments if you have any questions that I might have missed or any questions for us that you would like to know. Will come through in the comments and answer, and we'll drop those links so that we can purchase, you know, and all of them, because there's so many.
Yeah.
And 20, almost 20 books, guys, that we gotta catch up on. Time to read. So all right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Carla, for coming out. Thank you, Unique Words. Guys, have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the group. So all right, bye. Thank you so much, Son.